Today on the channel, it's the return of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, and today on the channel, we're counting down my top 5 favorite WWE Mattel Ultimate Editions so far.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Kyle Peterson Top 5 list countdown, a Thursday tradition here on the channel. As every single Thursday, I'm giving you my top 5 or top favorite countdown, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss one of these every single Thursday, like I said, or much earlier on Patreon if you're a Patreon subscriber. Link in the description below, of course. But of course, in the last week or so, as I'm filming this video, I did make a post on my social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. Follow along over there and subscribe to this YouTube channel. But I posted my Ultimate Edition Mattel WWE collection, and I did turn them from going sideways to library book style. As you guys know, and hopefully you're fully aware, I do have a Double Up Club set. I have a loose set and an MOC set of the Ultimate Editions. I've been all in since day one on this line, and this line isn't really that old. It's only a couple of years old, and a lot of people have jumped on recently that weren't really there for the beginning, I think, which goes for a lot of lines, I guess. But the Ultimate Editions, there was a dark time. We know there's a lot of greatness coming. That's why I had to turn them. We got a ton of figures in the horizon. But if you guys go back a couple of years, I think there was some surprises as this line continued. I'm one of them. I thought this line was really on life support. We had, of course, back in the day, we started off hot with Ronda Rousey, Ultimate Warrior. It was the hot new thing. Seemed to be a Target exclusive. Ringside Collectibles, of course, had them. But Walmart haven't really had Ultimate Editions. We've seen a few there. The Fiend, Ric Flair, Macho Man, Alexa Bliss are the ones I've seen in person, but primarily Target is the retail supplier of everyday retail of these guys. Now we have exclusives, things like that. But back then, there was just a couple. And then we got Shinsuke Nakamura. And Shinsuke took the Rio role to the next level, and he really peg-warmed hard. So much so that we really didn't even see... was it the Brock and Finn Balor set? We saw him a little bit at retail, but not like we thought we would, because that set with Shinsuke really did slow down the reorders. And then what ended up happening is we had a Rock Amazon exclusive, and then we had a Charlotte Flair. Was Charlotte a ringside exclusive? She might have been Amazon. She was one or the other, I believe. There was exclusive. So that kind of bridged the gap in between because retail wasn't getting anything new. And I really did think this line was on life support. I didn't think it had legs after that. I just figured, hey, the customer out there is telling Mattel they aren't in on these Ultimate Editions. But then the line really did start to catch fire, and it has grown from then. I really do like that they only put us about 2 in a set. I think that is a good move. These are a little bit more expensive, and it feels like it just kind of slowly trickles out in between elite sets, basic sets, things like that. I think that is a smart play on Mattel's part. Don't try to give us 6 Ultimates at one time. That's just a recipe for disaster. But it's an interesting line that definitely has legs. We're definitely getting expanded out. We got AJ Styles coming. We got Terry Funk coming as an exclusive with Hulk Hogan, of course, on Mattel Creations. There's a lot of ways this can go, but how deep can this line go? Obviously, everybody wants the Warriors, the Hogans, the Rocks, the Austins. But can it have legs? Can the AJ Styles-like figures survive out there? It'll be interesting to see where this goes. But, man, we've been a long ways in the last couple of years with this. And I figured this was a perfect point to do a top 5 countdown. Of course, like all these other lists, we're going to start at number 5, work our way to number 1. That is going to be my favorite. And just remember, as I always say, this is my list. This is my list. Put your list in the comments down below. But, of course, we're going to start at 5, work our way to number 1, and let the excitement begin. So without further ado, let's kick it off. Let's take a look at my number 5 Ultimate. All right, we start the countdown at number 5, and then my number 5 Ultimate of all time. As of now, as you guys know, this video will probably change a couple years from now. But for now, this moment in time here, we're going to Ultimate Edition Series 6, the Amazon exclusive version of The Rock. And I got, of course, a mint one and a loose one, as you guys know. A fabulous version of Rock. We haven't done a Rock top 10 figures yet on the channel. We'll do that one of these days, I'm sure. Gotta think this is going to be on my list somewhere. This is the definite Ultimate Edition, possibly the definite Mattel version of The Rock for me. Absolutely love this one. Now, this one's got a little controversy with it, and it's funny. A lot of people with their eyes and stuff, 2022 vision isn't quite what it was when this came out in, what was it, 2020 maybe? See if I can figure this out here. Yep, 2020. Now, it's so many people you see complain on message boards, things like that, that I couldn't get this. Why was this an Amazon exclusive? It was so hard to get. All stuff that you usually hear. However, if they took that step back in time, there was a lot of people that said they didn't like this rock at the time. At the time, they didn't like this rock, and they were passing on it. Well, they passed on it, didn't get it. It eventually sold out. It's not like this sold out in one day. This was on Amazon for a little bit of time, at least a month, if my memory serves me right. So there was plenty of opportunity for people to get this. Maybe they weren't a collector at the time. Maybe they weren't buying Ultimate Editions at the time. Maybe they didn't want the rock at the time. Whatever the case may be, they passed on this one. And they're paying heartbreak right now all these years later, as this is a very, very pricey figure in the Ultimate Edition line. Now, this is being ran back like we're seeing Mattel do with some other stuff, because it is a business. You put that business hat on, and you know that Mattel wants every dollar out of your wallet. They don't want people paying $100, $200 for this when, hey, I can re-release this, get $40 a pop every single day. They're going to do stuff like that. And there'll be some tweaks and changes, but this one is absolutely fabulous. Obviously, all the Ultimates have all the articulation we know, all the way down to the toe articulation like a young Todd McFarlane. But this one did come with some errors here and there, some missing the shirt, some with a wrong shirt in the package, and a lot of paint application problems on the heads on this one. So I was very, very fortunate. The two I got from Amazon, both minty, no problems with the faces, but a lot of people did have some challenges with that one, making this one even harder to get in a minty way, because nobody wants a big white glob of paint on their rock's head for their figure. But just a fabulous, fabulous looking figure there, as you can see in the package. It's the Ultimate style. We don't need to walk through the packaging and stuff, but you do get all the extra hands, the extra heads, the glasses, the shirt, the microphone, the title belt, of course. Just a beautiful, beautiful rock figure. And like I said, gun to my head, this is going to be a top 10 rock figure of all time for me. Just absolutely, absolutely fabulous. Just a beautiful, beautiful figure, and that's why he comes in at number 5 in my top 5 list. All right, next up in our Ultimate Edition countdown, we're at the number 4 spot. And number 4, we throw it all the way back to 2019. We throw it back to Ultimate Edition Series 3. Who are we talking about? We're talking about the Demon, Finn Balor. A fabulous, fabulous figure, and of course got a loose one here as well. Now, when I talked at the open of the show here about struggles with the Ultimate Edition line, this is one that did come out to Target. Triple H, I believe, was his wave mate at the time. These came out, but they were severely hindered by, of course, Shinsuke Nakamura really warming those pegs to another degree that we haven't seen since Rio in this day and age. But very interesting with this. They didn't really get out to retail at a big clip, and some stores went immediately to clearance, and that's what happened at a couple of my local Targets. These hit the shelves on clearance, didn't even start at retail price. So absolutely crazy. I gotta think, I'm not up on values on these Ultimate Editions, but have to think this has got to be a more pricey one, as this is a fabulous version of Finn Balor. Of course, we did do a Demon top 5 on the channel, one of the first top 5 lists I think we did, and of course this was on the list, on the countdown. Has to be. You guys know, sucker for face paint. Love me some face paint. But beautiful head sculpt on this one, beautiful extra heads. Of course, all the Ultimate bells and whistles, the streamers, things like that. I love Finn Balor. He is one of my favorite wrestlers, but when he puts on the Demon, that's where he really shines for me. That's what I want out of my wrestling. Give me some face paint. Give me some scariness. Give me some of that kind of stuff. And this is really good. And I love the long robe, skirt, whatever we're going to call it on this one. It does add to the presentation. Just a fabulous, fabulous Ultimate Edition. And that's why it comes in at number 4 in my top 5 list. All right, we're at the halfway point. We're at the number 3 spot on the countdown. Do you got your list together? Make sure you put it in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel while you're here. Like I said, every Thursday, a new top 5 and sometimes a top 10. We're getting dangerously close to 19,000 subscribers here on the YouTube channel. We'll have to think of another top 10 for the 19,001. But here we are today at number 3, and number 3, I think this one might shock some of you guys. I think you guys that watch my videos know what I like, things like that. You might think this one might be at number 1, but no, that's not the case here. Gotta call spade a spade. Coming in at number 3, Fan Takeover, Amazon exclusive, Ultimate Edition, The Ultimate Warrior. And we all know Ultimates, be it Super 7, Wrestling, whatever, NECA, they did name them the Ultimates as a tribute to the Ultimate Warrior. Somebody can fact check that, but that's what I tell myself, that Ultimates are in tribute to the Ultimate Warrior. And he is truly the Ultimate Edition, some might say. But a good Warrior here. I love Warrior. You give me all the Warriors, you know I'm buying them. I think I have 4 of this Warrior. You guys know. No Warrior left behind. That is the old credo. But this Warrior is fabulous. However, why is it number 3 then, Kyle, if it's so fabulous? We're a little worn out of WrestleMania 6 Ultimate Warrior. We've seen it a bunch of times in Jakks. We've seen it a bunch of times through Mattel. It just doesn't feel as special as it used to. Now, it is his truly defining moment. You asked me what the zenith of the Ultimate Warrior's career was. Well, he ended Hulkamania. He ended Hulkamania, unified the belts, and then went on to retire Macho Man. We all know that as well. So, to my eyes, nobody had a bigger 2 years than the Ultimate Warrior. And people, you know, they say what they say, but man, this was truly a defining moment. One that warrants an Ultimate Edition, no doubt about it. Warrants a defining moments figure if they would have done that. He got 2 Elites in this version. We got 2 Jakks in this version. It's just Warrior overload in WrestleMania 6 when he's got so many cool, deep-cut, iconic looks. But I understand why Mattel did this. This is what they wanted. Fan takeover, I understand it. You throw a poll out there on WWE.com, you throw it on Twitter, which one do you want? And you list SummerSlam 1990 or Survivor Series 1990 and WrestleMania 6 Ultimate Warrior. Well, guess what? 99% of the people that probably vote in those polls, since they're just thrown on normal social media, are probably not wrestling figure fans. They probably don't collect, and they just vote for the heck of it. And they see that list, well, guess what? Most people remember WrestleMania 6 Ultimate Warrior. They don't remember, what did Warrior wear Survivor Series 1990? They don't remember that kind of stuff. So no doubt in my mind this was going to win the poll. To a little bit of disappointment, but guess what? A Warrior figure is better than no Warrior figure for me. So I'm all in on this one. It is really good. It is really cool, but it's just not as special as maybe it could have been or maybe another one would have been. And that's why he comes in at number 3 on my top 5 list. All right, we're getting dangerously close to the end of the countdown, and we're at number 2 right here. And number 2 comes from 2021. It is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive of Sergeant Slaughter. Now, this is truly a game changer. As you guys know, we talked about this on the channel. We unboxed this on the channel. Had a lot of fun with this one on the channel. And this was a tough one because at San Diego Comic-Con, you had 2 different collector groups trying to get this figure. You had the G.I. Joe fan base. You had the wrestling fan base trying to grab this. Sergeant Slaughter, I've said it before on the channel, I like him more in G.I. Joe than I did wrestling. I loved him in G.I. Joe, but he was okay for me in wrestling. But this, to me, is the G.I. Joe representation. It's really the Hasbro LJN style Sergeant Slaughter brought to ultimate form. Absolutely cool. And of course, as we all know, there was a chase version of this. Not a big fan of that idea. Hopefully that doesn't continue. It doesn't look like it's going to continue with the Ultimate Edition Terry Funk Hulk Hogan. So that is a good thing. I remember I had to order 2 of these. David Anderson ordered himself 2 of these, and my dad ordered a couple of these. And we had to come in together and hopefully got some chases, and we did. So it all worked out in the end. But this Slaughter is absolutely fantastic. Now, it isn't uniform with the other Ultimate Editions. That was a little change to it. It is in WF LJN Superstars throwback packaging, much like the Terry Funk and Hulk Hogan we're going to get. It's an Ultimate line inside of the Ultimate line, but it still counts as an Ultimate. But the packaging is something special, especially to an 80s kid like myself that grew up collecting the LJNs and playing with the LJNs as a small child. There's a lot to like about this Sergeant Slaughter. So it being special, it being rare, it crossing over into G.I. Joe land, cool packaging, a chase, a lot going for this bad boy, and I got to think the value of this one's going to climb throughout the years, especially with the addition of the new Coliseum Stars, or whatever it's called, the throwback packaging collection from the Ultimates. It's going to really raise the price on this one in the future. I just definitely do believe that one. So coming in at number 2, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, Sergeant Slaughter. All right, we're at the end of the countdown. We're at the number 1 spot. Do you got your list together? Have you put it in the comments down below? Make sure you get that done. And while you're here, make sure you like the video. You made it this far, you might as well. Subscribe to the channel. Of course, hit the old notification bell. And then, of course, remember the Patreon, where you can get videos like this and many, many other videos much, much earlier than traditional YouTube. There's always about 30 to 40 videos that aren't on YouTube that are up on the Patreon for you guys out there. And, of course, we got exclusive content, bonus content, and monthly giveaways. Don't forget about that over there on the Patreon as well. So now we are here at the number 1 spot. Any guesses? This might surprise you, maybe not, but number 1 for me, we're going to one of my all-time favorites. Who is it? It is the Nature Boy. It is Ric Flair Ultimate Edition. It is my favorite Ultimate Edition of all time. Now, as I say that, we got a lot of Ultimate Editions to come. I run this back in a couple of years. The list might be totally different. But this Nature Boy Ric Flair is absolutely phenomenal. One of the greatest figures of all time. I absolutely love this one. Flair in his pink robe, pink tights, and then the beautiful head sculpts they gave. They gave some of the greatest head sculpts we've ever seen on Ric Flair with this Ultimate Edition. Displays absolutely perfect, looks absolutely perfect. The addition of the one hand, the 4 Horsemen figures, this truly is an Ultimate Edition Ric Flair. And when I think Ultimate, this is what comes to my mind first. It's not the Ultimate Warrior, it's not the Sergeant Slaughter, it's not the Hulk Hogan Mr. T, it's not the No Holds Barred pack. It's this Ric Flair. This is the one that feels ultimate. The extra hands, the extra head, the sculpting, just the beautiful new heads with this one, and then, of course, the soft goods robe. This just screams ultimate, and a lot of the other ones do as well, but to me, this screams ultimate the most. Just a beautiful, beautiful figure, and I do have an extra one of these, and one day I will get it autographed. That's one of the things I want in my collection. I'm not a big autograph guy, but a Ric Flair autograph on this Ultimate Edition would be something I would want, and I probably will make that happen one day. Hopefully sooner than later. You never know how those things go. But I think it needs to be done for my collection. But a fabulous, fabulous Ric Flair. You can't find much better than this in wrestling figure lines. That is for sure. And that's why Ric Flair Ultimate Edition is #1 on my list. So remember, need you to put your list in the comments down below. And then while you're here, make sure you follow along on social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, pick up a t-shirt, support the channel. So for the Ultimate Edition Top 5, I am Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.